Hello guys, happy weekend and happy new month. You know, in Nigeria, despite whatever we are going through, we like to say happy a lot. You will hear things like happy new year, happy new month, happy new week, happy weekend, happy Sunday.
That one is not enough, sir. Now we have happy first Sunday of the month, happy last Sunday of the month, happy Wednesday that fell in the middle of the month, happy Thursday of the month that the sun is still outside by 7 p.m., happy Tuesday morning that traffic on Third Mainland Bridge did not reach Yanutukpo, happy Wednesday that fell on Friday afternoon. The happiness is too much. We welcome you people again to another edition of Takpo TV. Hope someone did not use you to do a pre-food yesterday.
Today I want to talk about when to say no. And what do we mean by that? There is this song by Kenny Rogers titled The Gambler. He talked about knowing when to hold on, knowing when to fold them, knowing when to walk away, and knowing when to run.
You got to know when to hold on, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, know when to run. You never can enjoy money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough to count it when the deal is done.
Of course, gambling is not good, but the wordings of that song is a very imperative guide to the human life. You must not always be a yes man, a yes woman, a yes boy, a yes girl at all times. You know why? Because they say if you want to please everybody, you end up pleasing no one.
Anybody that wants to please everybody is already a dead man now. Because even the devil will want you to please him. And you know what pleasing the devil can cause your cosmate. It is a dichotomical constrainment with a stiffened biographical counter-catastrophic calamity. Choi! I have some grammar for sale in case you are low in eloquential articulateness.
Of course, you can't please everyone because there's a saying that another man's food is another man's poison. So as you are pleasing Mr. A, you are pissing Mr. B off. And by the time you realize that Mr. B is not pleased and you try to please him, what you are doing might be a taboo to Mr. C.
So by the time you finish doing your round wiggle, pleasing everybody, you will at the end find out that you did not please any goddamn body.
So there was this girl who was the only child of her parents. She just graduated from higher institution and she was engaged to a guy who was also her schoolmate. Everything was going on well and rosy and hopes were high as they were looking forward to go for youth service, pass out, get jobs and get married. However, one fateful day, the fiancé to this happy, excited and hopeful young lady was sent on an errand. This errand had nothing to do with this young girl. So he called her up and said, I was sent to go and do so and so. Are you available? Come, let's go together. And the girl joined him and they went together for this errand that only the boy was sent.
That is what we call dual errandization, a process where one errand that was conjugated as a monocarriage liberty is fostered into a multilateral indenture with a unilateral benefit.
As the couple were in the car going, they had an accident and the girl lost her life.
Chai! What a plantainous matter with a vigo-dynamic despondency.
The only child of her parents, she was home on her own. Her parent never sent her on any errand. Someone else was sent on an errand and she was carried along, not like a beneficiary. The errand had nothing to do with her. It wasn't her business. There was no credit that would be awarded to her for participating in this errand, but she was made to participate in what ended up taking her life for a cause that wasn't hers and left her parents devastated.
That is very unfortunate. It is a nocturnal dysfunction of a terminated destiny without deterrence or impedimental forestallment by the instigator of the errand. So sad and iniquitous.
Guess what? Today, that guy is married with children. But the person who was his fiancée, who was on her own and he called her up to meet her early grief, is gone. Her parents have been made childless for the rest of their lives. I think it's better to not have a child than to have one and lose them later on, because that is a trauma that will never leave you till you die. It's like getting a permanent dent.
Oh, so sorry for the parents. What a cuckoo-lucus. It is a depraved occurrence with a stigmated disastrous sensation.
The person who bore the message, the errand owner, didn't die, but someone who was minding her own business died for no reason. Learn how to say no to some things, even if they appear very pleasant. Sometimes we watch TV and we see suspected criminals being paraded, and you hear some of them saying he doesn't know what is going on, that his friend just told him to accompany him somewhere, and that was how he got himself into that situation. And guess what? You know our Nigerian police no send you message.
Once they are looking for a criminal, you better run away from that scene, because once they catch you, they don't care to investigate. You have become a scapegoat. When they are drinking beer and having big tummy, which strength would they use to be going to look for the real criminal? Laziness of the highest order, avocadizing situation with a rising exasperation.
The point I'm trying to make is that some of these people that used to say they don't know what is going on, they might actually be saying the truth. Probably they didn't know what was going on. But guess what? They've gotten themselves into the wrong place at the wrong time. That's what it means. And if they have said no to that person who lured them into that situation, they will have been exonerated.
It is a consequential experience with a casually mutual obliteration, fatal to the core, unpleasantly excruciating and agonistic.
I'm sure you guys saw a video that went viral in recent time of a girl that accompanied her friend to her boyfriend's house, and when they got there, they didn't know that those guys were Yahoo boys, and when they got there, they were using them for rituals. That girl that escorted her friend, was it her own boyfriend she was going to see?
For where? That is what they said, that the fly used to accompany the corpse to the grave. The grave was not meant for the fly, but because he likes to stick around the corpse, he did not know when they lowered the corpse to the grave. He was there enjoying the smell of the corpse until they started covering the grave with sand. He did not notice. Don't be the fly that followed the corpse to the grave. Learn to say no.
There was this other incident that happened in Ibadan, Oyo State. This young lady woke up in the morning and told her mom that she was going to her boyfriend's house. And according to the story, her mom warned her sternly that morning not to go out, but she refused to listen.
They don't listen. All these aunties that their head is still hot. Listening is the last word in their dictionary. Last word, Ke. I don't even think that they have that word in their dictionary. Listen, Ke. What are they listening for? They don't listen. It is conspicuously obliterated. Obstinate and egotism.
She didn't come back that day, only for her body to be found with her private parts gone and other parts that were removed. And you know what? This lady knew that her boyfriend was a Yahoo boy. Even her mom knew, and I guess that was one of the reasons why she warned her never to leave the house that day. Probably, as a mother, she must have seen something that her own eyes couldn't see, but she paid deaf ear to her mom's advice.
And the result is counter-blackish tragic calamity with an unpleasant culmination, a lesson and a reprehension.
And her mother spat on her corpse and left. She was so pained that she saw the danger coming. There are people out there who wish that someone could give them a hint on what will happen next or what is coming their way. And that's why you see people going to meet native doctors, diviners and prophets to help them navigate the unseen future. But here you are with a mother who could see something that is coming and you refuse to listen because probably your Yahoo boyfriend has a car you want to go and ride in or other activities you want to go and enjoy yourself. We need to learn to say no to some things, though they might look pleasant.
That is why they say not all that glitter is good. That statement has a fundamental derivatory measure that can thwart the indeterminate status quo that is clamoring on plaguing your navigation through the river of life.
I was once in a relationship with a certain girl and I was hoping strongly that we would end up together. One day my mom called me to tell me that she didn't like the girl that I was dating. She had never met my mom before, my mom had never met her before, they have never even spoken on the phone before. Yet my mom called to tell me this. You know what? You know that egocentric situation where you want to prove a point to people that they are wrong. I didn't listen to my mom. In fact, I wanted to prove her wrong. But when I started seeing the signals myself, if you happen to have a parent that give you good advice, please listen to them. Though when we are young, we seem to feel that our parents are old school and obsolete. Can I tell you something? That Nigerian proverb that says what an adult sees sitting down, even if a child climbs the tallest Iroko tree, he won't see it, is a valid proverb.
And so we have consequentially and irrevocably come to the end of this episode today. Please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for new episodes every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. See you next Saturday. Ochia!